Okay, everybody. Well, it is finally air conditioning season. Hopefully it stays that way. And what I'm going to do for you here today is I'm going to give you a run-up of both of the carrier units. They're both the same size units, but I'm sure you guys are going to want to see both of them go, so I won't disappoint you. And you can see the fans turning right now. That's just the wind pushing it along. So I'm going to do a run-up of the first floor one, which is this one right here, and then the second floor one, and then I'm going to show you what the air handler sounds like in the basement, because I know some of you wanted to hear that when I made the video on the furnace. So let's go inside and get this one going. Starts right up, no problem. See the funny fan blade motion. Even at 60 FPS, it's just too slow for it. And we'll get to the second one in a bit. Have to clear away some leaves around here, all that stuff, and then this will eventually be finished off more. It looks pretty funky on the camera, doesn't it? I'm sure that wind noise wasn't too good for it. So you can see, it runs very well. Nice and like, it has a decent amount of noise. Nothing overly loud, but enough noise to the point that it makes me happy, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, these are just one speed, one stage air conditioners. They're either on or they're off. That's what I like. No variables. What's going on there? Alright, let's go back inside and shut it off. You can see there's fantastic spin down time on the blade, although I think the wind might be pushing it a little bit now. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing for the second floor one. Again, same size as the first floor one, so I don't know how much different in sound they'll be, but I guess you'll find out as soon as you hear it. Alright, let me go run upstairs and turn it on. Right, run in stairs and turn it on? Yeah, run upstairs and turn it on. There we go. Sounds all good, happy and everything. Yeah, I'm really not noticing too much of a difference in sound. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up correctly, but maybe you'll be noticing something I'm not. Same thing as before. You can actually hear this hum down in the basement, which is pretty cool. You can't hear the refrigerant go through the lines, unfortunately. I was hoping to hear that, but just the hum of it is pretty cool to hear. And there it goes, just going along. I love the carrier logos on the front. Okay, so what I'll do now is I will now turn on the first floor one with this one going. And there's the sound of both of them going. Like I said, plenty of noise. Nothing outrageous, but just good enough to give it that good sounds of summer sound, right, Jay? It's just so nice to see these run compared to the furnace pipe over there. It's just really nice to hear sounds of summer again. You can see the rhododendrons doing well. The flower petals go off over time, and then I put the garden hoses back out. Pretty awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, let's head down to the basement and I can show you the air handler as well as more with that damper board that you may remember from when I did the furnace video. Okay, now for the air handler, there will be some differences compared to when the heat is operating aside from the furnace itself. Okay, the dehumidifier just shut off. That's good. So what I've done here was I changed the air filter. I'll show that in a minute, which ones we get. I turned off the whole house humidifier. I also closed the damper on the whole house humidifier. And for those of you who are new, I'll just let you go ahead and see the air handler in the furnace. The furnace itself is one stage, which I like, and the blower is actually 2-speed. For heating it does low speed, and for air conditioning it does high speed, which I really like. More noise, right? There's a whole house humidifier. Okay. Okay, so the way this is going to work is pretty interesting. As soon as the thermostat clicks, I'm going to be using zone 1. The zone 2 damper will start to close, and the air conditioner will turn on at the same time. And then after about maybe a couple to a few seconds of delay, then the blower will come on at high speed. I didn't like that delay at first, not that I can change it, but, you know, after thinking about it, I kind of liked it because it's kind of like a preview. You hear the damper close, the air conditioner come on, and then you know the blower's going to come on, which is pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the thermostat once again. Hopefully you can hear the refrigerant going through the lines. You can through here. So, kind of similar as before. There's the zone 2 damper closed and the zone 1 damper open. Remember from last time. Refrigerant line is hissing away, which is really cool. So the evaporator is inside this thing right here. And like I said, I turned off the whole house humidifier because even though it's probably not going to come on, there's no reason for it to have it on during air conditioning season. You want to remove humidity, not add. And these are just this is the intake and exhaust for the furnace, which aren't being used right now. And yeah, let me show you the air filter that we use. The Long Island house has the ones that you can wash off and reuse. We may get that at some point, but for now, we're just using these. You can either get the Honeywell ones at Home Depot, or you can get the 3M ones at Ace Hardware. It's pretty much the same thing. We use the FPR7, which is good enough. And my brother, especially in the winter, he actually uses the FPR9 because he has one of those wood stove fireplaces, and it helps remove more smoke than the 7 does. We don't really have that problem here, and in fact, the air filters really weren't all that dirty when I changed them. They had been in there since October or something, and I mean, really they didn't look all that bad, so we have a clean house, but good to change them for every season, I think. And these filters are great until we can get the washable ones. So yeah, refrigerant's hissing away. And the blower is on high speed right now. Now, it's a little something different with the damper board here, though. Okay, notice how the cool light is on, which is normal, but for some reason the fan light or LED, whatever, also comes on at the same time with cooling mode. I don't know why it does that. The one in the attic does the same thing, but you know, with heat mode it just does heat, and then fan is apparently also on with cooling mode, so I don't know why, but I mean, it's not a problem. I just, interesting that they do it that way. So, pretty cool though. And you can see Zone 1 is green, and Zone 2 and Zone 3, if we had a Zone 3, would be closed right now too, excuse me there. And what I like is the filter dryer for the AC unit is, or the AC line rather, is on the inside, not on the outside, so no weather wear on it, which is really nice. It hisses away pretty cool. And condensate pump as usual. This time the water is obviously going to be coming from this part because it's an air conditioning season now. And down there to the right is during heating. Okay. And there actually is a purge cycle on air conditioning too, okay? So what happens is when the thermostat is satisfied, okay, this will switch from cool to purge and the fan light will stay on. Now what actually happens is this, okay, when this goes into purge, the air conditioner itself shuts off, but the blower keeps running for about 2 more minutes. I think it's just so that way you can get as much coolness off the evaporator as it can, and maybe to help dry out the evaporator a little bit. The air is still very cool when it runs, so that's not a problem. What's interesting though is that I believe the purge cycle is 2 minutes, okay? Then for its last moments, the blower will actually drop to low speed and then run for about maybe, I think, 10 or 15 more seconds, and then the purge cycle ends and then the blower shuts off. I'm not quite sure why that does that, but it is kind of a cool thing, I will be honest about that. The purge cycle also serves another purpose too, okay? Let's say, for example, Zone 1's thermostat is satisfied, but then let's say about 10 seconds later, Zone 2's thermostat is calling for cooling. Well, as you know, when you shut a compressor off, you don't want to try to turn it right back on right away because it'll be under more pressure than it normally is. The case in point would be the dehumidifier. You know, it can't restart when it's still warm, and the pressure has to equalize. So basically, that's what purge helps to do. In purge, the air conditioner is not running, but the blower is. So what happens is when the thermostat calls for cooling in purge, it kind of puts its this is going to sound kind of funny. It puts its call on hold. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And then once the purge cycle ends, the dampers will reverse. The blower goes back to high speed, and then the air conditioner comes back on, and then it starts getting the cooling for the other zone. So that is pretty interesting as to how that all operates. If it was to call for cooling right now, it would just open up and allow air to flow through. Okay, so all right. So let me see if I'll see if I can maybe put the camera here somehow, and maybe show you how the board lights change when I hit the thermostat. All right, guys, there we go. I got a good shot of the damper board for you. So you'll see it go from cool to purge when I hit the thermostat. And like I said, the blower will keep running, but the air conditioner will shut off. So you might hear the hissing from the refrigerant lines. If you can hear it right now, kind of go away, which is pretty interesting. All right, so let me go upstairs and hit the thermostat. Yep, so as you can see, it went from cool to purge, and now we're in the purge cycle. So once again, if Zone 2 was calling for cooling right now, it would not respond until the purge cycle ends, which is to help the AC compressor equalize pressure before trying to start it again. Okay. Then what's going to happen is at some point this will drop to low speed, and then after like I said, 10 or 15 seconds, the damper will open back up, and then the blower shuts off, kind of like heating mode. Let's listen for that. Yeah, once again, the air conditioner currently does not run in purge, so there you go. Look around so you don't don't just stand still all the time. Okay, right there it just went to low speed, like it does in heating mode. Low speed is, you know what I'm going to say. It operates in low speed during heat. And we'll get a shot of the damper opening up. And just like that, it pretty much resets itself back to the way it was. You can see all the lights are off and all the damper zones are green once again. Okay, and basically, guys, that's how this thing operates in air conditioning mode. Some of you wanted to see that, and hopefully, you got what you wanted. This is a very good air handler so far. Hasn't given us any problems. Makes plenty of noise, moves lots of air, and does a good job. So, hope you enjoyed that video, and hope everything was good for you. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.